All right, so first thing we want to be on is these enrolled. It's 2 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, House will come back into order. We've got a message number 497. Good Chairman Washit would, oh, do we need to read something? Oh, yes, we do. We need to read something in before you can do this, and I don't have any heartburn at all about that, so.
Message 497. Mr. Speaker, Senate File 169, Strategic Investments and Projects Accounts Repeal. The Senate adopted the Joint Conference Committee number 2 on the report on the bill listed above by the vote indicated. Ayes 19, noes 9, excused 3. Sincerely, Ellen Thompson, Senate Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Reading Clerk. Chairman Washit, please. But I do urge caution. So, anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move message number 497, Joint Conference Report. Ask for your adoption. This is regarding Senate File 169, the Strategic Investments Projects Account Repeal. There were times in the last 8 weeks I didn't know if we would get here, but we are. And this is a great piece of legislation, a lot of compromise, give and take, a lot of input received. We're doing good work for the people of Wyoming, both for the security of our state prison by adopting a transfer from the state prisons account of $9 million to upgrade their security camera system and lock system, which is desperately needed, and also transferring $10 million of the remaining balance in the SIPA to the Wyoming State Shooting Complex, or to the State Parks and Cultural Resources Department for development of the Wyoming State Shooting Complex. And with that, I just urge your aye vote.
Thank you, Chairman Washit. Any discussion? No discussion? Okay, well then I will move to my next. We are at that order of business to request to concur. Oh, Representative Harshman, please, first time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a question for the bringer of the conference committee report. Just so, first of all, just quick comment. It's sure a nice deal we have that SIPA account that we can transfer a little money from for construction. Because I believe that's a $10 million transfer, what I heard you say, from the SIPA to make sure we can start construction on this shooting complex. And then just what's going to happen with the other 10 million that we've already appropriated? I don't think you actually said. I know we're not going to double spend it, but maybe for the body to let us know. Thank you.
Any others for their first time? Seeing none. Representative Washit, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the question. That $10 million has an automatic reversion in the statute that we passed back in 2023. So if we don't take any action at the budget session before then, the money will revert. I believe it's June 30th, 2026, reverts back. And I just want to thank the members of the Joint Conference Committee, the good chairman of appropriations, good appropriator from County 17. Appreciate everybody's support.
Okay, we are at that order of business, request to concur. First message, we've done that. We are voting on motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Senate File number 169. A majority of the elected members is required. The Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Ellamand. Andrew. Angelos. Banks. Bear. Brady. Bratton. Brown Gary. Brown Landon. Byron. Campbell Elisa. Campbell Kevin. Chestick. Clouston. Connolly. Davis. Eklund. Erickson. Filer. Excused. Geringer. Guggenmoss. Haroldson. Harshman. Heiner. Heft. Jarvis. Johnson? Repeat. Kelly? Knapp? Larson Lloyd? Larson JT? Lawley? Lean? Locke? Lucas? Excused. McCann? Nicholas? Ottman? Pendergraft? Posey? Provenza? Riggins? Rodriguez Williams? Schmid? Sherwood? Singh? Smith? Storer? Strock? Stivar? Tarver? Thayer? Washut? Wasserberger? Webb? Weber? Worf? Williams? Winter? Wiley? Yin? Mr. Speaker. Kelly, could you repeat? Are there any changes? Are there any changes? Eklund, aye. To no. Jarvis, aye. To no. Posey, aye. To no. Further changes? Clouston, aye. To no. Further changes? Closing vote? Nicholas? Excused to aye. Are there further changes? Closing vote? Vote closed. 38 aye, 15 no, 9 excused.
By your vote, you have chosen to concur with Senate amendments to Senate File 169. Okay, Chief Clerk, I don't know that we've got anything else specific we got going right now. I do know this, ladies and gentlemen, we've got an enrolled act that's going to be coming this way. We've got some other concurrences that may or may not happen. We'll have to see how things progress. So the House will stand at ease until the sound of the gavel. Yeah, give us a half an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this. At this point, I believe that we will be, I would say that we will be sign and die tonight. So I've had conversations with the other body, and I think we've come to a conclusion and a reasonable resolution to the issue that we faced when we did our House caucus. And so we took what you guys said and what we learned from that caucus. And so at this point, I do believe we will see the governor here tonight, and we will be sign and die. So we will not be holding you here till Monday. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear any pushback from you guys on this, but we do need to get back into business. So if we can help that. Watch your bingo card. I'm trying to help some people here, okay? Pay attention. My goodness. Some people went to a lot of effort to try to get something there that'll work, and I'm just, huh?
Being on the gaming commission, I don't believe it's legal to have bingo here in the, this isn't a bingo party.
Okay, so I've just been informed that the good representative on the gaming commission believes that this is potentially it may not be good here. This is not a bingo partner. So, all right. And I hope you don't filibuster that and the whole evening, so. I don't want to be all about doom and gloom, but we have some things we need to do here, so. Okay. The House will come to order. We do have some enrolled acts here that we just received, hot off the presses from the members down the hall. Just 1 second, please. It's all right. I remember when I used to make mistakes like that. Yeah, you said when she's about done. Okay. It's okay, Deb. They've got your back. For the newbies out there, we're just getting to the downhill pull on this. We're almost done. You know that's not the Wyoming way, don't you? Okay, now we got the proper paperwork up here. We are at that order of business of signing of enrolled acts. First enrolled act for our consideration, Senate Enrolled Act number 95.
Senate Enrolled Act Number 95, being original Senate File 17, an act relating to the administration of government, providing an enhanced oil recovery stimulus for the use of carbon dioxide and enhanced oil recovery, specifying conditions and requirements for the stimulus, providing for the administration of the stimulus, creating an account, requiring reports, requiring transfers of funds, authorizing rulemaking, providing an appropriation, and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I'm about to sign Enrolled Act number 95, having been original Senate file number 17. I have so signed. Next Senate Enrolled Act number 96.
Senate Enrolled Act Number 96, being original Senate File 191, an act relating to state funds, requiring the state treasurer and the Wyoming Retirement Board to provide for proxy voting associated with the investment of state funds, specifying investment criteria to ensure investments are made only on pecuniary factors, providing definitions, authorizing contracts and the use of investment earnings, making conforming amendments, specifying applicability, authorizing full-time positions, and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I'm about to sign Enrolled Act number 96, having been original Senate file 191. I have so signed. Next Enrolled Act, 97.
Senate Enrolled Act Number 97, being original Senate File 34, an act relating to K-12 public school finance, increasing the allowable square footage utilized to calculate routine and major maintenance for school districts, increasing the percentage utilized to calculate major maintenance payments to school districts, providing appropriations and providing for an effective date, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I'm about to sign Enrolled Act number 97, having been original Senate file number 34. I have so signed. Next Enrolled Act for our consideration, Senate file Enrolled Act number 98.
Senate Enrolled Act number 98, being original Senate File 169, an act relating to public funds, repealing the Strategic Investments and Projects account, providing for the transfer from and to the revision of funds from the Strategic Investments and Projects account, making conforming amendments, repealing obsolete language, requiring reports, and providing for an effective dates, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Wyoming.
I'm about to sign Enrolled Act number 98, having been original Senate file number 169. I have so signed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we have messages from the Senate? Please, reading clerk.
Message number 498. Mr. Speaker, the Senate did concur in House amendments to the bill listed below by the vote indicated. Senate File 191, state funds, proxy voting, and pecuniary investments. Ayes 24, noes 2, excused 5. Message 499. Mr. Speaker, the Senate did recede from non-concurrence on the House amendments to the bill listed below by the vote indicated. Senate File 34, school finance routine and major maintenance calculations. Ayes 20, noes 7, excused 4. Sincerely, Len Thompson, Senate Chief Clerk.
Thank you, reading clerk. Chief Clerk, what else we got going? Okay, so currently, if you're not watching this, the Senate is doing their script right now to bring the governor in. Governor will speak there first, and then he will be on his way down here. So, House, we will stand at ease until the sound of the gavel. Please, don't make us send the troopers after you. Stay close, all right? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Representative Kelly, please, we'd love to hear this. Proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, Representative Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would this be a privilege of the floor or a House Rule 9-2?
House Rule 9-2?
Yeah, personal matter?
Oh, please, proceed, yes.
Okay. Please, if I go over 5 minutes, don't point of order me. We're not going anywhere right now, unless the governor shows up, of course. There was somebody.
Point of order.
I was hoping. And I didn't interrupt your speech when they signed your bill. I had a joke that was so off key. And I had a friend that really wanted to be here for the swearing in. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. And this is personal. If you get uncomfortable, I understand. Get up and leave. Won't hurt my feelings. But a number of years ago, as we know, my daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. And during that time period, I don't talk very much about what those years were like, what it was like to coax her back to sleep from the recurring nightmares that she had forgotten her chemo and her cancer had come back. And my recurring dreams that she was healthy, and I'd wake up and realize my life was the nightmare and the dream was the best part of my day. This went on for a couple of years. Following that, the year she went off treatment was the year my wife was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer that required a double mastectomy, a complete hysterectomy, and then half a year of chemo. So for about 3 years, I was very used to masks and hand sanitizer long before COVID. During that time, my son was born. He needed open heart surgery. He needed spinal surgery. There were times where I would check my daughter to see if she was alive when she was sleeping. And my son had an oxygen mask on. And sometimes we had to inject chemo into my daughter at home. So the point of all this is that during this time, I didn't even realize what was happening to me. that I had been somebody, the man you got to know here, somebody who is kind of keeps to himself but cares deeply about everyone and everything we do here, he disappeared. And my family didn't realize it. I didn't realize it. And after 5 years of chemo and operations, I was a shell of who I used to be, relegated to a callous guardian with one directive in life: protect my family. That was it. My motorcycle collected dust. My gun collection collected dust. I only went out of the house when it was part of a mission to make sure they had what they needed. And it was about the year 2020 that I was sitting around one night on the tube of you, looking at videos, and a video came up. AI, the algorithms, they pick things for you. And it was this video of this young lady that had this face that was very familiar to me, I guess you could say, and talking about her struggles in life and sometimes how she wished she could end her life. And when I was watching this, at the time I didn't notice, my wife was kind of watching me out of the corner of her eye. And I finished watching it, and I sat up and I said, "Do you think I should?" And she sat up, "Yes, yes, please, yes." I'm like, "You don't even know what I'm gonna say." She's like, she had recognized someone she hadn't seen in years, somebody willing to reach out to somebody else, somebody willing to look outside of his family. So I did reach out to this person, never thinking I'd hear back. And to make a long story longer, we became close friends. And I'll get to a point actually why I'm telling everybody here about this and why I think it's important for you to hear it. And eventually, during that time, her mother got diagnosed with cancer. And my wife and I actually flew across the country to help them deal with it because we had been there. But during that time, I thought I was helping somebody dealing with emotional issues. And I didn't realize how much my friend was reconstructing me into possibly a better version than I was before. If I never met her, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably still be in my house, holed up, making sure my wife and kids were safe. And she couldn't make it out here. So I'm telling you this because we're dealing with mental health issues across the state. And quite often we think about we've got our hands on the levers, the strings of the purse. We can influence state policy. And I wanted to make 2 points about that. Number one, there's only so much we can do. It's sad, but we can't legislate compassion as much as we'd like to sometimes. So to anyone who sees this online, or if you take this home to your communities, don't have it lost on the one-on-one personal effect you can have on somebody. When somebody comes to you and tells you they need help, I'd like you to remember, first of all, they came to you. Be careful about the message you send them about, we have a hotline, there is professional help. Think about the message that sends when somebody who's struggling comes to you and says, I need help. They're asking you. So first I would implore you to take the time to listen. Second, I would like you to remember that sometimes we might view people with mental health conditions as people that we need to help. And we lose sight that it's a two-way street, and that relationship can help us. And because I took the time to reach out to somebody who was struggling, she changed my life and became a close family friend. And so to her, I'd like to say to my friend Shady Ray, look forward to seeing you. I love you, and thank you.
Thank you, Representative Kelly. The House will come to order. Mr. Majority Floor Leader. It's time for our script, young man. He is coming this way, I believe. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it comes.
All right, buckle up.
It's just pretty amazing.
Mr.
Thank you.
Speaker, I move that bills currently pending before this body in the 68th Wyoming State Legislature 2025 general session be indefinitely postponed.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion of the majority floor leader.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. By your vote, the motion has passed the House. Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Senate be informed that the House of Representatives of the 68th Wyoming State Legislature general session is ready to adjourn.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion, the motion carries. I am directing the House Chief Clerk, Katie Talbot, inform the Senate that the House of Representatives general session of the 68th Wyoming State Legislature is ready to adjourn. Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that a committee of two be appointed to inform the governor that the House is ready to adjourn and to escort His Excellency the Governor to the House.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion carries. Representatives Heft and Representative Lean, please inform the governor that the House of Representatives is ready to adjourn. Please escort His Excellency the Governor, Mark Gordon, to the chamber. The House of Representatives will stand at ease until the sound of the gavel.
I just saw him go into his office with the Senate.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait here for the governor, we have a few moments. I'd like to read you just a little bit of a brief recap. We put together some figures and some facts and some things that I think are noteworthy about what has happened so far this year in the general session of the Wyoming 68th Legislature. And if you wouldn't mind, please indulge me. I'd just like to read this to you and just give you some ideas about some of the things that have been accomplished and what we've done here. The Wyoming House has spent over 210 hours on the floor working bills. During this time, we've accomplished so much for the people of the state of Wyoming. We've worked past 8 p.m. on many occasions and have our staff to thank for that and their very hard work, and we thank you very much for that. Here's a little bit of what we've accomplished. The House brought the most historic education bill since the creation of the Hathaway Scholarship Program, and that bill was House Bill 199. Thank you, Representative Ocean Andrew. We expanded the Hathaway Scholarship Program to include CTE students in House Bill 36. Thank you, Representative Harshman. This House brought Certificate of Need repeal to help our elderly family members have more healthcare choices and allow the healthcare industry to finally behave more like a free market, and that was House Bill 289. Thank you, Representative Geringer. The House repealed gun-free zones, an effort over a decade in the making, Representative Haroldson. We worked together to provide a lasting property tax relief to the people. The House ushered through a Wyoming Religious Freedom Restoration Act to protect the First Amendment rights of the people of our state. Thank you, Representative Washington. Our members worked on multiple bills as a team, creating amendments and working together to protect women and girls in their athletic competitions and private spaces. Thank you to Representative Lean, Representative Lawley, and Representative Rodriguez-Williams. We stood up for rural schools. Thank you, Representative Sherwood. We saw a good many election integrity bills getting 5 across the finish line. Representatives Bear, Knapp, Weber, Lucas, and Webb. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a short list of what has been accomplished in the past 2 months in this legislative body. You have done a tremendous job. You really have. And I like the idea that you guys still get along well enough and enjoy each other's company enough to see a lot of the old Nick I've watched on the floor here in the last few days. And that tells me that you guys have been able to put aside some of the differences and the different divisions, and you've been able to work together effectively, and you will leave this house this day with a good attitude and a willingness to move forward for the state of Wyoming to your positions, and you've done a wonderful job of representing your constituents. I am very proud of all of you, and it has truly been an honor as your speaker to be able to serve in this capacity. I won't lie to you. I was scared to death when I came into this position. I didn't know exactly what I was in for, but I thank all of you for making this one of the easiest things I've really ever had to deal with in my life. And I owe you and the good staff of this legislative LSO the credit for that, because there's no way I could have done this without you. So thank all of you. I appreciate you. I love you all. And I look forward to a budget session that we're going to do a phenomenal job in the remainder of the 68th. Congratulations, and thank you very much. And for those of you that thought you were going to go home tonight, you look out behind me. So it is getting after it. So, all right, we will hang fire for the governor here. And as soon as he gets up here, our good representatives have going to get him. We'll retrieve him, and then we'll be completing our evening. I don't know if this is an appropriate time to do this or not, but Representative Williams has inspired me to be able to maybe relay a poem that I learned a lot of years ago. And maybe this would be an opportune time to do that, if you don't mind. It's really short, and I've always enjoyed this, and it was hard to just get this out of my mind. So if you don't mind, I would tell you something. It goes like this. It said, all her friends have wanted one, and now my wife wants one too. A knee-length fuzzy fur coat. She said nothing else will do. She said she'd look real classy and make me proud of her if I'd just break down and buy her a fur. Well, it put me to thinking, how am I going to swing this sort of deal? Lord knows I can't afford it, and it's wrong to steal. But the problem finally solved itself like a bolt out of the blue. It jumped right out in front of me on Highway 22. That big old German Shepherd, my car, he did not see. Now he's in dog heaven, but his hide belongs to me. Well, for 3 weeks in the basement, I worked late most every night. It was mostly trial and error, but I finally got it right. Put it in a cardboard box, and I carried it upstairs to her. Man, she was tickled pink to see that fur. Well, now she's got a fancy fur coat, goes all the way to her knees. But she's been complaining lately. She said the closet's full of fleas. She don't know Fido is wrapped around her tight, because she's putting on the dog when she goes out at night. And she's been depressed here lately since I backed out over the cat, but I think she'll feel much better when I give her this new fur hat. Representative Brown,
Mr. Speaker, privilege of the floor.
please.
Ladies and gentlemen, 68th. I was kind of inspired by our tall drink of water there from the northern part of the state. I just wanted to kind of take a second here. We're not going into an election season quite yet, but of all the freshmen that are sitting in here that fought hard fought campaign seasons, I hope every single one of you takes a look around the room and sees something different than what you did in June, July, and August. They're not opponents, they're people. They're people that feel, have families, kids, grandkids, loved ones. And as our chief executive is walking in here, I just want to remind everybody that as you go about this world, and as we leave these chambers, we shake hands every single morning and say good morning. And we do it with a smile on our face, and we greet each other, and we pray together, because we can agree that we're all human beings and that we all love each other. I just ask for that compassion. I ask for that love and that grace that comes along with everything that we do every single morning. As you go out there about the world, no more castigating against one another. We're so much better when we work together. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Could not agree more, Representative Brown, and thank you for sharing that. The House will come to order. Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, it is my pleasure to announce His Excellency, the Governor of Wyoming, Mark Gordon.
Mr. Gordon, Governor Gordon, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
I'm on. Mr. Speaker, members of the House, thank you very much for the honor of addressing you today. But more importantly, thank you for the work that you've done over the last few weeks. It seems like it might have been a year, but I hope it's been as fun as the brochures advertised. But I will say thank you for being together, for working always for the people of Wyoming. I just mentioned to the Senate that while we have missed a few targets, the aim of this body and the aim of Wyoming's government and its legislature remains true to the people of Wyoming. I would never trade what Wyoming does with its citizen legislature for any other body anywhere. You go home from this point and have a chance to talk with your constituents. And I hope that they ask you questions, and I hope you bring those questions to us. Sounds a little bit like Representative Brown was just saying some of the things that I was thinking about, which is when we work together, we can really move mountains. And that is true. We saw that early this year when we talked about what had happened on the road above Jackson. We literally moved mountains in a few weeks. That's what this body has a history of doing. That's what this room reminds us of. And as you go home, I wish you Godspeed, but I want to leave you with one of the great perks of being a governor is that you get a lot of Bibles. This one was given to me by Faith for America. It's really a beautiful book. I just got it the other day. I was going to read from Lee Greenwood's Bible, but the pages are very thin, and you can almost see through them, so it's hard to read. But a favorite of mine is the prophet Micah. Many of you have heard me talk about this. I know Representative Harrelson, you and I have talked about that from time to time. Micah is a wonderful prophet because he tells us a lot about what we should be doing. And in chapter 6, verse 6, he says, "Wherewith shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before the high God? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves of a year old? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, or with 10,000s of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for all my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He has showed me, O man, he has showed thee, O man, what is good. And what doth the Lord require of thee? But to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. As you go home, this is something I've been reading to myself for the last couple of nights, trying to come to grips with what that means. I think it's important now in Wyoming that we think about those verses. It's not about what we say as much as it is about what we do. And as calves are coming and as the sheep are coming, and as I think about what I should be doing at home, I hope we all remember this is the greatest state. We can move mountains. This is the way we should think about our future. And Mr. Speaker, your leadership has been monumental. Thank you during a difficult time. God bless this great country. God bless Wyoming. Let's keep it free and let's keep it wild. Thank you.
Governor Gordon, on behalf of the members of the House of Representatives, thank you for your closing remarks. Representative Posey and Representative Bratton, please escort His Excellency the Governor from the chamber. You can feel it, can't you? Majority Leader Heiner.
Mr. Speaker, I move the following, that the House of Representatives, 68th Wyoming State Legislature, General Session adjourn until a date and time which are determined jointly by the Speaker of the House of Representatives and by the President of the Senate for the purpose of calling the House and Senate back into session. And if no such time is scheduled before December 31st, 2025, the House of Representatives, 68th Wyoming State Legislature, General Session is adjourned sine die, effective at 12 o'clock noon on that date, and the legislative budget session, 68th Wyoming State Legislature, shall convene on the 9th day of February, 2026, at the hour of 10 o'clock a.m.
You got more. I wish I could let you go, but you got a little more script there, Majority Leader.
Number 3, that the House of Representatives specifically concur in any identical motion adopted by the Senate. And number 4, that if the Senate fails to concur in the action of the House of Representatives under paragraphs 1 and 3 of this motion by adopting an identical motion applicable to the Senate, the House of Representatives, 68th Wyoming State Legislature, General Session is adjourned sine die.
You have heard the Majority Floor Leader's motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. No. It just comes natural, doesn't it? By your vote, the motion has passed the House. We are now at that order of business, reading and approval of the journal. Representative Jarvis. Oh, you are here. Look at you go. Representative Jarvis.
Mr. Speaker, your Journal Committee reports that the Journal of March 6, 2025 has been read, and I move that it be approved.
Representative Posey.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
There being no objection, the report is adopted. Subject to the conditions set forth in the Majority Floor Leader Heiner's motion, the House of Representatives 68th Wyoming State Legislature General Session is adjourned and shall again convene the legislative budget session on the 9th day of February 2026 at the hour of 10 o'clock a.m. Representative Harrelson. We have one message.
Message number 15. Mr. Speaker, this is to inform you that the Senate has completed its business and is ready to adjourn. The Senate adopted the following motion: that the Senate 68th Wyoming State Legislature General Session adjourned until the date and time which are determined jointly by the President of the Senate and by the Speaker of the House of Representatives for the purpose of calling the Senate and House back into session. That if no such time is established before December 31st, 2025, the Senate 68th Wyoming State Legislature General Session is adjourned, sign and die, effective 12 o'clock noon at the date that the Legislative Budget Session 68th Wyoming State Legislature shall convene on the 9th of February 2026 at the hour of 10 a.m. That the Senate respectfully concurs in any identical motion adopted by the House of Representatives. That if the House of Representatives fails to concur in the action of the Senate under paragraphs 1 through 3 of this motion by adopting an identical motion applicable to the House of Representatives, the Senate of the 68th Wyoming State Legislature General Session is adjourned, sign and die. Sincerely, Ellen Thompson, Senate Chief Clerk.
Representative Harrelson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you wouldn't mind standing as we close in prayer. God, we come here today and I thank you. I thank you for the last 2 months. 2 months of coming together and working, uniting and fighting for the great state of Wyoming. God, I thank you for the work that we did on this floor. God, I thank you for those moments where we can look back and say, we gave everything we had and we did a good job. God, I pray for the moments that maybe we couldn't say that. Maybe those moments that we didn't do everything we could have done. God, I pray you'd forgive us for those. God, I pray that every time we step foot onto this floor, we would understand the great weight that rests upon us, the weight that a state has placed on us to be able to represent them well, to bring their heart, their thoughts, and their ambitions to this floor, and to be able to do the best for the people of this state. God, I pray that as the decisions we've made and the directions that we've gone, God, I pray that they would have long-lasting effect for this state, for the good. For the areas where maybe we didn't do it right, God, I pray that you would give us grace and wisdom as we continue to mold and make the legislature and the statutes that we touch the best that they can be. God, I pray that as the people leave this house, as they go from this place, God, that you would take and that you would put a hedge of protection around them. God, as they step back into their normal lives again, God, I pray that you would give them stamina and strength to be able to overcome all the things that didn't get done over the last 2 months at home. God, I pray that you would give them rest. God, you would give them refreshment. You would bring them back into the loving arms of their families and friends, their communities. And God, I pray that as we are no longer in session, but yet we still represent, that we would do an excellent job of doing that. God, I pray blessing now over every person, every situation, and every life represented here. And God, until we come back together, until we step back onto this floor, God, I pray that we would have a heart for this state, a heart for its people, and a heart for the generations to come. Give us wisdom and bless us now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the House is adjourned. Be careful out there. Safety traveling home. We will see you through the summer. Folks, take care.